Welcome back to the Harman Studios. Once again, my good friend Ben Servino, who is going to enlighten us on topics of employing people with disabilities in our community into the workforce. Ben, you've expounded on this. This is your life's work, your passion, in so many different ways. But I would say on behalf of employers out there, is it fair to say that not many employers on Guam truly understand their affirmative action obligations, and even fewer still actually fulfill those?
That's very true. A lot of employers out in our community aren't even aware that there are these programs that exist, or that we even exist. So we're trying to have that connection and bridge that gap so they are aware that we are a resource, so we can meet their manpower needs. And even in the federal government, there are opportunities for people with disabilities to work in the federal government. In the federal contractors, that 7% utilization rate needs to be looked at. And a lot of employers that are getting contracts at the federal government and the military bases are still not complying with that. And we're working very closely with U.S. Department of Labor's Office of Federal Contract Compliance to ensure that these employers are aware of that and they do connect with our agency so we can provide the manpower for these positions that need to be filled. And then within GovGuam, we have the 2% law, which requires at least 2% of the workforce within each GovGuam agency consists of people with severe and significant disabilities. So right now, that's a big priority for us. We want to make sure, again, the government agencies know the process of hiring people under the 2% law. We've been conducting trainings and outreach workshops to them. And then, of course, we look at self-employment opportunities and looking at the utilization of assistive technology to address a lot of the barriers. Because a lot of people in the community aren't aware that people with disabilities, even how severe their disabilities are, they can utilize assistive technology to overcome a lot of the challenges they face. And then we look at telecommuting. They don't even have to go into the office.
I was just about to say, yeah.
They can work at home. They can get their own computer, do data entry at home. They can do calls, you know, as a call center. They can do a lot of things, again, based on their functional limitations and their abilities, more so their abilities.
What's one misconception in your experience that companies have when it comes to understanding, you know, what they can do with employing people with disabilities and making sure that they're integral parts of their teams?
I think one of the biggest fears that employers have is the fear factor of the costs associated with providing the accommodations for the individuals with disabilities. And also there's this myth that the insurance costs are going to escalate. There are liabilities and all that, and the training time and all these fears, but actually these are easily overcome, you know, because again, you have resources like Voc Rehab to come and assist. We can provide job coaches. We can provide on-the-job training opportunities. We can, again, provide all the assistive technologies to help the individuals so they can transition into the work site and address any barriers that they may have. We can also look at providing technical assistance if they have barriers to accessibility, you know, within their work environment, because a lot of people aren't aware of the minimum path to travel of 36 inches for a wheelchair to come through an office space and the height requirements. So we can be able to provide technical assistance in that aspect.
Being ADA compliant within the office, you know, not just in the building that you probably rent from some sort of landlord, but making your own workspace.
Absolutely, especially in the workstation, because there are certain reach range and height range.
Exactly.
There are limits, and you have to, again, reduce it down to a certain point. So we can work with them to help address that. One of the things we like to share with employers is that look at websites such as JAN, Job Accommodations Network, because that is a great online resource where employers can actually go in and research the different types of disabilities, learn about the different types of disabilities, and then they can be able to look at intervention strategies and accommodation strategies.
All right, well, Ben, we always appreciate it. Thank you so much for your knowledge.
Thank you for having me here.
We'll talk to you soon.
Sure.
Thank you. Please stay tuned.